this video we have the sci-fi regular troops of the Sisters of Eternal Mercy Army of our Kickstarter, The Toughest Girl of the Galaxy, Darkness and Light. Here I have two plastic bags, one with the sprues for the command group and another with the sprues for the troops. When we open them, we find the new sprue models. They look like pizza slices, and inside of them we can see the parts of the model made of high quality resin. This new type of sprue improves the protection of the miniature during the shipping and allows the pieces to be better organized and visible, so we will know easier where to cut to separate each part. With the command group sprues we can assemble 5 sisters, all different from each other. All parts are swappable with ball joint assembly, so you can customize them as you want. The choices are endless. We can see they include 4 different heads with hoods and one special for the superior sister or officer of the group. Also 5 heads with helmets. It contains accessories to make one superior sister as a sword and a pistol, 1 banner and 3 weapon specialists, 1 fusion gun, 1 flamethrower and 1 heavy submachine gun. We have also 5 25mm round bases. In the troops sprues, the content is similar. We can set up 5 different sisters. All parts are swappable with ball joint assembly. Include 5 heads with hoods and 5 with helmet. Normal weapon, 3 special weapons. The flamethrower, the fusion weapon and the heavy submachine gun. 5 25mm bases too. When looking at the sprue, we see that the parts are joined together by fine resin threads, so we will need some tools to put joints, clean flash and mold lines. Flash cutter. Make sure that it is well lined, otherwise you will damage the model when cutting. A sharp hobby knife. A set of microfiles of different shapes. A soft brush to remove small pieces of loose resin and dust particles. Cyanocrylate glue. Let's start with the command group. We separate the parts to assemble the officer. You can have the image of the 3D models that are on the web as a guide for the assembly. We separate the head. We will easily recognize the torso that we must cut because it has shaped chains. We will take the sword and a backpack. The handgun and legs are in another sprue. In order to make clean cuts and reduce the risk of breakage when separating the parts of the sprue, you should always use flat cutting hobby pliers, never diagonal pliers like those used in electrical works. The flat blades of modeling pliers allow us to perfectly align them to the surface to be cut, while oblique cutting pliers always leave resin pointy leftovers, and with them we run a great risk of breaking delicate parts when cutting. When all the pieces are cut and separated, it is time to use the hobby knife to remove any remaining leftovers. Take enough time to do it calmly and make sure your tool is always sharp to avoid damaging the model. Also scrapping with the blunt part of our hobby knife, we can eliminate the mold lines that we can find. Finally, we use the microfiles to further refine our work. Before assembling and painting the miniature, it is best to wash it with the dishwasher to remove any residue and release agent, grease, or small resin particles that have been trapped in the nooks and crannies of the figure. To do this, we use small interdental brushes, as the figure has many fragile details that could be broken if you use a normal brush as in bigger miniatures. Once we have thoroughly washed all the parts of the model, rinse with plenty of hot water and dry using paper towels. The water and grease mixture is best removed by rubbing and whipping with the paper and not just drying the surface. Doing this will positively influence the adhesion of the paint to the resin. When the parts of the miniatures are clean and dry, it's time to assemble it. We put the parts together before gluing them to make sure everything fits perfectly. Put a small droplet of cyanoacrylate and put the parts together. You have a few seconds to correct the position before the glue dries. Cyanoacrylate usually works very well when gluing the resin, but if you have any problem settings, for example in very cold or wet places, you can use an accelerator as a cyanoacrylate activator. Put the glue on one of the surfaces and the accelerator on the other. When joining, the surfaces will be stuck instantly. For this reason, you should be very sure that the parts are correctly placed. We already have our miniature clean and assembled, ready for the primer coat. Continue with the other miniatures, following the same steps as described before. Let's see another examples. I already have the parts ready to assemble a banner bearer and a sister with fusion gun. Let's go there! I wanted to make decorated bases, so I waited until the end to stick them. And here we have our complete squad ready for the primer layer. Remember that a good coat of primer unifies the surface of the figure and leaves it ready for painting. I will print all of them at the same time, placing them next to each other on a holder. Always prime with spray paint on your models, not bad resin on the miniature. Keep your sprite can about 25 cm 10 inches away from the miniature. When priming, start by spraying very light coats of paint. The first layer should be like a mist and nearly invisible on the miniature. Wait a few minutes and add a new coat, and then another one. Then let it dry for at least 12 hours. I hope you enjoyed painting your sisters, and taking them to victory on the battlefield. See you in our next video of the toughest girls of the galaxy, Darkness and Light Unboxed.